Okay, joining me now is Roxanne Darling, co-owner at Bare Feet Studios. Roxanne, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. Aloha, Vanessa.
Aloha. I love hearing that. So speaking of aloha, we will be in Hawaii very shortly here. Coming up in about 4 weeks, we'll be holding our Pubcon conference. And Roxanne will be speaking on travel and tourism. Now, Roxanne is a resident, so we wanted to get her input on some of the local hotspots that maybe our attendees that aren't familiar with Hawaii should check out.
Well, people will be in Waikiki, which is flooded with great restaurants, and Yelp is very popular here, so I really recommend that people go on Yelp and search for whatever kind of food they're looking for. They'll find any and every imaginable kind of food. One of the things that's very popular right now is the locally grown food communities, and sustainability is very big of an issue with Hawaii because, you know, we're so remote here. We're the most remote landmass in the world. And so we're really trying to grow more locally instead of having everything flown or shipped in. One of the favorite restaurants for that is called Town, T-O-W-N. He's at Ed's Town on Twitter. And they do a great job of buying local vegetables and homemade goat cheese and meat from the grass-fed beef from the local ranchers. Highly recommend them.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Let's talk about your new Media Artist in Resident program. I'll let you tell us what it was about, and you have found some great success there.
Mm-hmm. Sheila Beale and I worked on that together for the island of Lanai last year, and we will be talking about that in our panel discussion. I think a lot of the lessons actually transfer to all businesses, however, that, you know, work in somewhat of the consumer marketplace. Because what we did is we brought in a team of bloggers over a period of 6 months, and we treated them like artists, treated them really well so that they would then share their knowledge back with the destination partners, as well as share their adventures with their audiences, their communities that follow their blogs. And so it was really very much of a two-way double win experience in terms of social media is still fairly new. I mean, I've been talking about it since 2005, but it's still new. There are a lot of people still getting on, figuring out what it is. And so, being able to help the businesses speak the language, learn about the tools, whether it's looking at Facebook on the iPhone, right there in their own place of business when they've got this new media expert on property, really great value. Mm-hmm. And the stats were off the charts, so we'll be presenting the stats too. I was really proud of that.
Excellent. And now what started for you as a walk on the beach, talking about a simple thought, has now turned into what I would say is an empire for you, because you've got so many things going on. And we were discussing, how do internet professionals manage their time? And you had some good points because that's something that you're trying to work on in your own life.
Mm-hmm. Well, running Social Media Club, which I got started here, I'm not the president anymore. I just resigned that last year, which is nice to be passing that baton on to my colleague, Tara Kumans. But having so much client work and having projects for our own company, and we're a small business as well, over the break, the holiday break, I really spent some time mapping out all of the things that I'm working on. And I have about 17, 18 blocks of things that I want to get done each week, not including, my personal leisure and cleaning the house and that sort of thing. And just that number was so high that struck me, wow, in a 40, 60-hour week, no wonder I'm constantly feeling that I'm not getting everything done. And I've been studying the work of Clifford Nass, who's a researcher at Stanford University. And he's showing that, our ability to respond to all of these constant interruptions, the text notifications, the phone ringing, the email notifications, Facebook notifications, is actually making us less efficient and more stressed. So I was like the poster child for that. And, I used to just want to go with the flow and trust that the important things would show up front and center and I could deal with them. But now I'm learning to manage the flow, and I'm scheduling these blocks of time. And I'm being very, as much as I can, strict with adhering to those blocks. Because one of the things that Clifford Nass says is if you at least do things in 15-minute blocks of time, your brain can orient around that task without the interruptions. And it makes us much more efficient and a lot less stressed. So.
Okay, well, I guess we will be seeing you at Pubcon. Thank you so much for your time. If you want to let us know where we can find you before we finish up here.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at Roxanne Darling. It's probably the easiest place. And by all means, all of the Pubcon attendees, please let us know what you're looking for, what you want to do. We'll make some personal connections for you. The Hawaii community here is very active on social media, and we love sharing the special places and things to do here in our homeland, and would love to put people together and make sure you go home with a Hawaii buddy.
Thank you so much for your time again, and we'll be seeing you soon, okay?
Aloha. Thank you.
Aloha.